Hello everybody. Super good morning everyone. How's everybody doing? Kevin Chan here again. We are having a session today. It's about QiMen. We are continuing with the individual component of QiMen, and today we are looking at the QiWater component, right? So it's one of the heavenly stem, and we're going to start to understand what does the heavenly stem contain inside, what is it trying to tell you when you're reading that time, what are the things to pay attention to, right? So that's in line with the QiWater, right? So as usual, good morning first to Manuel, Pekpoy is around, PJ Call, Jocelyn, Sabrina, Kelvin Hoy, Eclipse is around, Katerina is around. How are you guys all doing, right? So today is a wonderful Monday. Right, so hopefully you guys are not having any blues at all, right? So it's a Monday blue. Right, so yes, we are going to look at the QiMen, and QiWater is one of the unfortunate, labeled as the negative component, but in actual sense, again, all the China metaphysics component is basically on a neutral basis. Everybody have his role, everybody is a bucket, as things are put inside the bucket, everybody have stuff inside the bucket, that's it. Right, so it's just for you to understand, what is the role of this particular component, and under what circumstance is this particular bucket useful, right? So just a lot of flooring here. What are you doing? What are you doing, Eclipse, right? What are you flooring about? Right, so come, let me just shrink myself down to the smaller version, we shall continue with this, right? So as usual, you can join my Telegram if you want to PM me, right? So, and there's stuff to download there if you want to download, right? So the latest one, I throw in some classical text and the interpretation for you to download if you want to download and keep it, right? So then there is the monthly newsletter, right? So right now you sign up, then you'll get some publication from time to time, right? And also the community in Facebook, right? So you want to join a community, need some friends, please go to the community. It's a plushy community of Kevin Chan today. all right, let's take a look, right? So this is a QiMen plate. If you have never seen one before, and if you want to generate one of the QiMen plate, you can go to Typing Astro. So application of QiMen, right? Application of QiMen is usually in an hourly basis. So QiMen is predominantly used for forecasting purpose, right? So you open up the hour chart, which is in conjunction with the hour that you're in, right? So and then you look at the distribution of all the information inside and make a decision, whether you should proceed or not to proceed, or is more specifically is that it assess your strategy, whether the strategy is valid during this particular period and time. So it go and analyze the heaven, earth, and also man component, and to decide whether it is your strategy basically is going to work or not going to work, right? So in what we call in a very short compressed manner, mean that if you are decided to use archer with fire arrow to shoot your enemy, you open up the chart and basically see whether the archer fire arrow combination is going to work during this particular time. Maybe the entire chart tells you that the wind direction is wrong. Then you don't do archer fire arrow, that's easy only. It's either you wait for another time whereby the archer fire arrow is viable, or you change your army composition to not use archer fire arrow. That's it. Right, so that's basically what a QiMen do, right? So we apply a lot of QiMen in today we call business situation. In the olden day, it's war situation. So later, I will also give you a war story. Just for the fun of it, right? Just for the fun of it, just that you guys know how to relate with the information, right? So like for example, if we take a look at this one, the QiWater is in the south. That's all, right? So it's just for you to identify the QiWater. So the South Palace is the combination that is involving QiWater. So at this current moment, because you're not reading anything, the chart has no meaning, right? The chart reading only have meaning when you have a focal point, right? So focal point means that the things that you are trying to assess, the things that you are trying to find out. Right, so that's what you need to do. So in QiMen, you do need to establish a focal point, right? So there's 4 components in a QiMen, right? So 4 components, each of every one of the box, they will always have this 4 components, which include the door, which talk about action. So if you want to find the definition of the door, what does the door do, you can go and look at the video or the door we have done already. Then there's a star that talk about environmental component. circumstantial component, right? So, if you want to find out about what circumstance is encompassed under which star, please go and watch the star video. And there's the deity, right? So the deity a lot has to do with the intention of the particular participant, right? So then you can look at the deity. So right now we're talking about the stem. The stem usually talk about people. So we have done the Jia stem. So you guys knows that the Jia is the emperor, right? So it's the emperor, and the emperor like to hide. So that's why you don't find Jia there. Right, so in the entire QiMen chart, so QiMen chart you cannot find Jia one. The Jia is never labeled in the QiMen chart, so you're supposed to know where the QiMen chart is hide at QiMen chart. Whereas the Jia wood is basically hiding, so it's always hiding with the 6 crescent. So the 6 crescent is the Wu Earth, Ji Earth, Geng metal, Sin metal, Ren, and also Kui. So those are called the 6 crescent. It's always hiding there, right? So the Yi wood, right? So the Yi wood is the sister of the Jia wood. So the main task of the Yi wood is to form connection. And the biggest connection that you need to form is with Geng metal, which is the bad guy in the story that's attacking Jia wood. So Geng metal is the enemy. So the Jia wood sacrificed the sister to marry the enemy. So whether you guys find this entire process to be fair, unfair, right? Yi would willingly go and marry the Geng metal so that she at least still has the princess title. Right, so Ping Fire is the son, right? So he is the one that controls the army. So a lot of time Ping metal is being associated with being courageous, being what we call proactive, right? So because the fellow got army behind it, right? So then there's the son, and then the Ping Fire is the daughter, right? So the job of the daughter is to visit the auntie that has been married to the Geng metal to obtain information. Right? So the Ting metal basically is a informant. Informant, right? So, or you want to call spy, right? So we need to start over from the Ting metal first. Now, Ting metal is in charge of all the information gathering. So it's the spy, is the one that has clarity over the situation. Call it in a good way. Clarity of the situation. Find out. So what are the components that basically counter Ting metal Kui water? Right. So which means if Ting metal meet with Kui water, Ting metal straight away no function. Because Kui water counter Ting metal. So if that is the case, the basis, you start to understand, then you know what is the function of the Kui water. Like you start to understand the function of the Kui water. Right. So Kui water, come, let's go in and take a look at this. Right. So the representation of the person, right? So if you don't know, this is from X-Men. Right. So X-Men, there is a fella who can duplicate himself. Right, so duplicate himself. So this fella, know how to duplicate himself. He can duplicate multiple copy of himself. Right, so now when you have multiple copy of yourself and duplicate a lot of copy of yourself, what happens? You create confusion. So Kui water, generally the main task is to create confusion. Right, so it is the one that does psychological warfare, aka you call propaganda. Right, so the story when what we call the army is attacking from outside, attack the wall, which is Wu Earth, then walk over the farmland with Ji Earth, then fight with the local thugs, which is Geng metal, then they send assassin to assassinate them, poison them, right? So all those kind of things. Then there's Ren water, mass people, right? So this part is the part that psychological warfare come in. Right, this is the part whereby propaganda come in, right? This is also where I tell you a story, right? So last time there was this war, right? So during the Chu and also Han, right? So you guys don't know whether you guys read it or no. There's this thing called Chu He Han Jie, right? So Chu He Han Jie means that the Chu Empire and the Han Empire is separated by a river. So because of the river separation, right, it's very difficult to fight each other because army cannot get near because of the river. Right, so so it's a Chu He Han Jie. Chu He Han Jie always mean that yours is your side, me my side. Don't touch me, I don't touch you. Right, so there's during this particular war, right? So it was one of these places, whereby the Chu army was deeply entrenched inside one of the what we call fortress, deeply entrenched from a fortress. So the Han army was trying to attack this Chu army. It was a very difficult task. They tried a lot of time, cannot, and finally they decide to use psychological tactic. So what psychological tactic that they use? They surround the entire fortress, and the Han people start to sing the Chu people's song. All right, so no, this particular incident was called Same in Chogo. Right, so it's four-sided, it's the true song from all sides. So now what happened? You're from the Chu Empire, right? So you're the army from the Chu Empire. Right now, you have been separated from your hometown for a very long time. You're surrounded right now. You are bombarded by all the folk song, from there, right? So the morale breaks. The morale, your hearts basically cannot take it. Right, as you can see, the QiWater doesn't engage in direct confrontation. It's basically engaged in all this propaganda, psychological warfare, right? So which means that if you see the QiWater, then it is a psychological warfare situation. It is a situation whereby there's a lot of confusion, just like how QiWater is, right? The cloud, the mist, can see, cannot see, feel it, but it's not there. Right, so it's that particular. And QiWater, in the world of QiMen, the nickname is called the Heavenly Net. So what does the net do? Entrap people. Entrap people. So it's basically a situation whereby you are confused, don't know what is happening, don't know whether what is real, what is not real. So it's a typical propaganda. Right, so it's a typical propaganda. Right, so in that particular situation. Right, so Cynthia, thunder trick off during water tiger hour. Luckily, I know Chinese metaphysics to stay calm. Still drizzle. Okay, place is flooded, is it? Careful then. Right, how about how about QiGen in Destiny Palace? What is a QiGen? Katerina, what is a QiGen? Right, so again, Katerina, QiMen is a tool that is used for forecasting purpose. It's not for destiny analysis purpose. Right, so if you use QiMen for destiny, it's a bit overextending. Right? So that's why a lot of time I don't really want to do like this is about what, because every single stem is being, and every single part palace is gonna affect every single thing. Okay, right. So if you want to do a destiny analysis, better use the proper tool, which is Bazi. Right, Bazi will do a better job in destiny analysis than QiMen would ever be able to do. All right, so not that saying that cannot use QiMen because again, in the olden day, if you learn QiMen, then you have to learn QiMen. You're not even allowed to learn a different school. Right, even in QiMen got a lot of different schools. You're not even allowed to cross to a different school to learn. So what to do, if you really need to force to do destiny analysis, you have to extend QiMen. That's all. Right, so no, that's basically the basic analysis of a QiWater. So it's a situation whereby confusion is high. Very high confusion, a lot of can see, cannot see stuff. Right, so so it's called causality. So of course, when you take a look at the situation of being confused, all this psychological warfare, it lacked nobility. In the olden day, nobility is very important. Nobility basically means fight in a stupid manner. Right, nobility means I challenge you. It's the Wild Wild West. It's the Wild Wild West type of fight. Everybody stand in a straight line. You shoot one time, I shoot one time. Those kind of stupid stuff. Right, so last time war is basically so you don't deploy this sort of underhanded dirty tactic. Right, you call this, but there's nothing wrong with this one. So it's like the four-sided Chu song, right? So if the fight were to be extended, as in the normal way of throwing stone at each other, right? So this will waste everybody's resources, and also the amount of people who will get dead will be heavily increasing. But because of the Han people deploy this particular method and broke the morale of the Chu people, the Chu people eventually what we call surrender. Right, because they surrender, then less people die. Right, they are able to take the city, everybody kombawa, so like that. Right, so or else there will be wastage of a lot of resources, right? So there are circumstances when this sort of tactic is called for. Right, so which means that if let's say that you are doing a reading, that time you find that the palace got QiWater inside, right? So it basically means that it is a situation whereby the person is not very forthcoming, and because again this is called heavenly net, right? it is a situation, you know, whereby there's a certain amount of entrapment that's basically happening, right? So when you say that, oh, this is not good, it's very good if you are trying to catch a criminal. QiWater is very good if you're trying to catch a criminal. If you are QiWater there and then you are the superintendent police thingy, right? So which means that the trap that you lay to catch the criminal is going to work, right? So the criminal got no way to run. So if you are a criminal, you know, you see this QiWater, your situation is that you're trapped, you know, there's nowhere to run, you're going to be captured, which is good, man, right? But if let's say that you put it in a scam situation, if you got QiWater there, right? So especially if the scam situation together with the snake, right? So this is a very good scam. So if you are the idiot who's gonna walk into the scam, then you know, big trouble for you. But if you are the fella who lay the scam, is good for you. So can you see, right? So always in QiMen battle is there is two parties against each other. That's how battle it is, right? So there's two parties against each other. So definitely every single thing also is gonna benefit one side. Right? Any single thing that basically is happening, right, is gonna benefit one side of it. It's just that which side that you are standing on, right? So that's why in QiMen, if you study it, there is always this guest and host thingy, right? So they will tell you, you know, this particular formation is favorable to host, right? So this particular formula for formation is favorable for guests, right? So favorable for guests mean that, you know, the proactive action party is gonna be able to take the headwind, right? So or the favorable to host mean that the non-progressive passive party is gonna gain a upper hand, right? It's just that. So once you know that situation, then you can know that, you know, should I further my attack or should I just stay and wait for the fella to come and, you know, come. So if you have a QiWater situation, it is better to become the trap laying person than to be the person who walk into a trap. So a lot of time, why what happened this is not good is because when you ask a QiMen question, you usually want to do something, right? You usually are checking whether my action is gonna have what sort of consequence. So you're gonna become the guest. So when you are becoming the guest, you see the QiWater means that a lot of time you're walking into confusion. You are walking into a stage, you know, whereby, you know, you probably couldn't differentiate between good people and bad people, right? So it's basically a very, you know, fog of war, very thick smoke, you know. It's like somebody just throw a canister of a smoke grenade into the room, right? So you are in a situation whereby, you know, you are a bit wanko, or, you know, they throw the flashbang inside the palm, you know, it's like cannot see, cannot hear, you can only hear ngong 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 ngong. It's those type of situation. So that's basically what QiWater represent. So, you know, like, you know, asking, you know, what does a QiWater represent when you know, talk about destiny? It's about a person who is very, you don't want to use the word confused, right? No. It's a person who is very dreamy, very difficult to grab onto, right? So it's a very dreamy type of situation, right? So, you know, it's you also cannot call this fella very thick. It's cannot grasp, right? So, you know, which means that 1 minute you may think that this person is like this. So the entire situation of, you know, suddenly cold, suddenly hot, right? 1 minute this fella can be the most magnificent nurturing, right? So nurturing person ever, right? So the another minute the fella become cold and unforgiving. That's what QiWater do, you know. So now 1 minute, you know, is the morning dew that nurtured the field. The next moment it can be the relentless rain that flood the same field. Both are QiWater. So it has a very strong notation of duality, the split personality thingy, right? The split personality thingy, right? So it always create confusion. So, you know, if you have a person with QiWater, very difficult to predict what is the next move of this particular person. Now, it doesn't mean cannot trust this person. It's a very different thingy. It's just that the fella nature is like just like the cloud. One moment this shape, another moment that shape. Okay, you see the fella there a moment, it float on to another place at the moment. Is there anything wrong with the cloud? Nothing, right? So this moment the cloud is there giving you shade. The moment the cloud move away, you're under the sun. You blame the cloud, man. Hey, why the cloud is not giving me shade? So it's personality was the same. One moment very nurturing, come and help you. Another moment just leave you alone. Right, so it's your problem for putting too much faith on the too much reliance. Let's not call it a reliance on the Kui water, right? You think that the Kui water should always be there for you, but no, right? So the Kui water never function for you. They are also not selfish, right? They are also not selfish. Okay, it's just that they're just going through their own natural path of doing whatever that they want. So Kui water is generally more free thinking, right? So more free thinking, more freedom based, right? So so it's very close and synonymous to what we call hippie, right? So the hippie culture, right? The hippie culture, happy together, not happy, move, want to stay here for a while, move away. It's all those kind of particular situation. So it's how you fit this entire bucket of things into the things that we are reading, right? So it's the things that you are basically reading, right? So it's like if you, let's say that you read this as a relationship, so you look at the relationship palace, then you have this particular Kui water, right? So Kui water, right? So the Kui water can actually describe the girl. If let's say that you don't have anybody, right? So you don't have anybody, you say that okay, I want to look for a relationship. Usually I want to look where to go and look. So the box whereby the harmony is the direction that you should go and look. Right, so then you can take a look at it. Hey, the Kui water means that the person that you're looking for is have this particular attitude of being very soft, very dream girl. Dream girl. I usually call it the beach girl. Yeah, the beach girl, surfer girl, right? So far away you see her, it's like wow, so sexy, so nice, right? So you see her, come and talk to her, very very warm, very welcoming, and next time you come over, right, cannot find her anymore. She's gone. Right, the next moment you come back, it's like, I'm gonna find her again, right? She's gone, right? So if you meet this sort of girl, right, the first moment you meet her, you want to grab, you grab at that moment. No more next moment already, right? So you have that, it's either there or there, right? So then thereafter in between, then it's like flip-flop, changing up and down, it's like storm all over the places. It's very difficult to hold on to, right? So super difficult to hold on to, right? So these are girls that you cannot chase. You cannot chase, right? So you want to see this girl, you stay in the beach for a long time. She might come back, right? The next time she come back, then you can take action, right? So that's Wu Earth, right? So you say Kui and Wu Earth is one pair, so Wu Earth don't move, right? Wu Earth don't move, and Kui water, the cloud always gravitate towards mountain. Natural thingy, right? So it's those kind of stuff, right? So that's Kui water's type of personality, right? So or maybe you already have somebody, and then you want to take a look at the quality of the relationship, and you see that the Stam is a Kui water, so she is currently in a Kui water state, confused, don't know what she wants. Right, confused, don't know what she wants, right? So if it's in this state, the bad part is that if you are waiting for her to know what she wants, then you're dead. But if you know what you want, then it's good. Then you know what you want, you just impose it onto her. But again, she might change. I can see she's in a very undecisive, confusing state. Right, so it's how you basically does a general reading. So you need to know what does the Kui water represent in the game point that you are. Right, so if let's say it's in battle, then I see Kui water, it's time to play confusion game. It's a game of playing confusion with the other fella, true, not true, God, not God, those kind of stuff. Right, so it's time to play psychological war. Right, so like for example, Kui water is pretty good for general sales commerce, this type of situation, you know, you are able to confuse the buyer. Everything is basically confusing buyer. I know you said, confused buyer is good one, man. Ask yourself something. Why does, when there's an expo, generally expo is anything, right? Generally expo anything, but more specifically, if let's say the expo is a car, why do they always put scantily clad, sexy young chick on the stage together with the car? Why? Right? So because why those scantily clad young chick draw desire on people. Doesn't matter whether you're a guy or girl. You see, you know, this sort of girl, very high amount of desire come up. So now when you got high amount of desire come up, you need to relieve the desire. So what do you do to relieve the desire? One is that you go after the girl, which likely is not going to happen. So second thing, what you do, buy a car. Yeah, the car won't run away, right? So you want to own something, so the girl actually invoke this desire of ownership. You want to get, you want to grab the girl, right? So but you can't grab the girl. So what do? Grab a car, the car won't run away, or whatever product that is standing beside. Marketing psychology, this is, right? So the girl invoke your desire to own. You wanna grab the girl. Okay, right? So you know that particular desire, your brain actually cannot differentiate on. You know, your brain is basically desire, you see, because it's just hormone. See, hormone trigger, right? So you need to settle this particular hormone. You need to buy something. You need to own something, right? So it's good for sales, right? So you know, it's basically, you know, if you see that, oh no, I'm going to do a sales, you know, I see that QiWater, you know, very good for this sort of confusion tactic. Yeah, sales marketing always use this confusion tactic. They tell you this, you know, it's, you know, like, you know, associating high status success, right? So with certain product, right? But after you buy the product already, do you think you'll be successful? And you know, no, it won't, right? So you know, it's always used by branded product, right? Branded product will always see that, you know, somebody with celebrity successful holding the branded product. Oh, deep down. Right, so after you buy the branded product already, you know, do you think that you'll be as successful as the other person? No. Right, can see, right? But the entire same process of creating that confusion and causing you to, you know, do certain things, you know, that's QiWater's job, right? Propaganda expert, right? Expert of propaganda, expert of psychological warfare. Right, so you know, if you see QiWater, then you are subjected to psychological warfare. It's just that whether the psychological warfare is actually useful to you or not. Okay, right? So you know, take a look at QiWater. You know, very shallow, or you can call it very thin. Maybe shallow is not a good word. Very thin, right? Very two-faced. You know, one money, they're very silent. Right? So very silent type. Right? So you know, extremely patient, very tolerant. Right, so you know, passive, soft, right? So very imaginative, introvert, you know, a very good teacher, right? So QiWater is very good, it's very nurturing, right? So very nurturing type, right? So they have this sort of flair in it, right? So you know, it's very, very mysterious. So then Ting and Kui in the same palace can represent an alluring spy, or Ting and Kui together generally means suicide. Yes, especially when the thing is on top, Kui is at the bottom. Thing on top, Kui is at the bottom, generally means suicide. It's a phoenix diving under. Reverse is called demon snake. Either one of the positions is no good. Right, so if you want to say that, you know, this is a very alluring spy, also correct, or a politician, not a politician now, right? It's just the politician right now. Our definition of politician is a sleazy, untrustworthy. Just like how you would describe a lawyer. Okay, politician is not that. Okay, right? So yeah, right. So you have that particular you are getting the correct direction now, but please, you know, don't go and accuse people. But when you see that, you know, that Ting and Kui together is generally a very bad situation, especially if you are taking action. If you're not taking action, it's fine. It's just for the people who's taking action. Right? So the other way around is demon snake up and down is basically your what we call phoenix dive into the river. Right? You know, so yes, this both was no good. Right? Phoenix dive in the river a lot of time is suicidal. Right? Suicidal situation. It's basically you saw through the lie and unable to accept it. Right? So you know the QiWater is being cleared off by the thing, but you are not able to accept the things that is shown up, so you end it yourself. Right? So that's the situation. Right? Cool. Right? So can right? Yeah. Right? So no, that's basically your QiWater. Alright, so no, it's again please it's not evil nor it is good. It is there just because it's there, right? So because these sort of circumstances need to be, right? So this particular like being on top of QiWater on top of being blur case is called a blur case you know, it's being got a lot of cloud around it. Does the being still function? No, cannot see anything right? You cannot see anything. So you know it's a being that's being confused. You know, it's an army that's very confusing. It's like putting an army in a fog, right? So you know, a dense fog, you know, a dense smoke. You know, just like I tell you, throw the smoke bomb into a room right? So you got a group of soldiers inside a room. I throw a smoke bomb inside. Can your very brave soldiers still function under heavy smoke? All confused, right? They can potentially hit each other, right? That is basically your Bing and Kui. It's a confused situation for the Bing. The Bing just doesn't function very well. Right, so again, just remember the QiWater represent trap. Represent the trap. You know, it's called Daemon. Right, it's called Tianwa. Name is called Heavenly Net Tianwa. So it's anything that has to do with confusing, trapping, all these kind of things. Depend on the focus point, right? Otherwise, it can be paranoid about the QiMen formation. Yes, correct. It all depends on the question at stake. We call it the question at stake. So that's why the way that you ask the question, what I say, the quality of the question that you're asking, sometimes very important in. You guys play with ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, I love it. You ask stupid question, give you stupid answer. You do not know. I've been playing with ChatGPT graphical component, right? So for it to produce graphic, you try and see you type things in, right? If you don't know how to type the prompt properly, as in you don't know how to give instruction to it properly, the thing that get produced is a piece of crap. You get a piece of crap. Right, the 6 crescent punishment in the Southeast. Why suddenly got 6 crescent punishment in Southeast? Right. In my destiny chart, I have a thing on top and a Kui at the bottom with the assistant star. So again, Eclipse, right? Try not to use any of the standard QiMen formation explanation for destiny analysis. Do not use any of it. All wrong one for destiny analysis, because again, it is not designed for destiny analysis. So whatever that's written is for forecasting purpose. Right? So because if you do that, right, your Keng metal, you're sure dead already. Right? Keng metal in the QiMen written format is bad all the way, but everybody chart got a Keng metal. So how? Everyone die one, you know. So that's why you cannot use that. Do not ever use it. To me, is that, you know, if your foundational level knowledge is not there, I would not even apply it to destiny reading. Your destiny reading will be wrong. All the formation cannot use for destiny reading. Like for example, you said that you got Ting and, you know, Kui, right? So why did I say that? Oh, you got this suicidal predisposition. Gone, gone, right? And you are F to the max. You are F to the max. Right? So what if you got a Keng Jia together? Dead lah. Never even start playing the game already die. Your chart so die already because you got Keng and Jia together. Keng and Jia together means game over. Right? No need right? You don't need to do anything already. Understand So please don't Do not use any of the formation definition, you know, that you have learned for Destiny. Right? It's a completely different ballgame. Right? So you have to basically rewrite the entire meaning and definition of every single thing for Destiny analysis is different. Okay, so don't use it for that. Right? So like for example, the Ten Peng Sing, the Ten Peng Sing. Right? So right. So that one, a lot of time we use it to represent, you know, at least in the reading, we represent a very sexual intense situation. So everybody, you know, have the Ten Peng Sing inside, you know. So is everybody also is harms up, man. Cannot be, man. Right? It cannot be everybody also harms up. What happens if your Ten Peng Sing is together with your, you know, your money star? You know, you are very harms up with money, is it? Cannot be, ma. Can see, no. So please don't use it in that particular manner. Very dangerous. Okay. All right. So today you learn about your QuiWater. Right, so when you're doing reading that time, you know, at least you open, you see the QuiWater, you have a general sense of, oh, this has to do with confusion, you know, this has to do with propaganda, this has to do with, you know, dual personality, this has to do with, you know, can see, cannot see, this one has to do with can touch, cannot touch, you know, this has to do with maybe real, maybe not real. You have all of those things, you know, inside your mind, then, you know, you put in your question, you know, my question is about this, and, you know, see what are the situation. Right, so you know, if you are talking about, you know, let's say the money related matter, you got a QuiWater there. This money can see, cannot touch. Scam. That can see, cannot touch is what I know. Generally, scam. Scam is what one? You put in some money, then I give you some money back. You put in some money, I give you some money back. You put in some money, I give you some money back. You're starting to get greedy. You put in a lot of money, then disappear. Can see, cannot see lah. Can see or not? Hopefully you can understand, right? Crypto, right? So crypto, you know, is in a way also, yes. Nothing against crypto, right? Nothing against crypto. So please have a very clear separate delineation between blockchain and crypto, and also your Bitcoin or stablecoin. They are three very separate things. They are not together, right? So no, blockchain is basically okay, it's good. It's a programming method to link stuff together. It's a verification method. Great. Right? So then crypto is basically everybody printing their own money. Right? Biggest problem with crypto is that crypto is generally really useless. Right? So there's no actual place for you to use the crypto. Right? So that's basically it, right? So now is crypto under this particular in a way, yes lah. No, crypto is more very close to our physical world, which is called currency. Right? So in the physical world also you need to very differentiate between actual money and currency as two different things. Right? So currency is basically, again, a useless piece of paper. Currency are just promises by the government. No. So most of you maybe say that, oh, no difference, you know, I hold this, you know, I can go and buy. You know, go and hold some Venezuelan dollar and see whether you can buy anything today. Right? Can I start to understand there? All right. So that's basically your QuiWater, right? So now we'll come back again and settle the rest. Then we can move on to all the standard formation, right? So then you can start to use formation. Formation just means more than one component coming together. That's called formation. You know, don't make it too difficult for you. All right. So have a great week. See you guys. Bye.